Welcome back to News Tonight. 24 hours into the by-elections in Myanmar, a pro-democracy leader and candidate Aung San Suu Kyi says the elections in the country are neither free nor fair, but still she will contest them.
You were just pointing out that the elections are not being held in the free and fair manner as you would like. Would you regret taking part in an election like that?
Oh, not at all. I said earlier that there are two parts to our campaign, and the second part and more important part was to raise the awareness of our people, and this has been a very successful part of our campaign, so we do not at all regret having taken part in it.
So that would be like a stepping stone to the next one?
No, it's not a stepping stone, it's a foundation stone for the future of democracy in Burma.
The United Nations has asked India to repeal the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, saying it had no role to play in a democracy. Christoph Heinz, a UN official, said. The AFSPA effect allows the state to override rights in the disturbed areas in much more intrusive way than would be the case under the state of emergency. The repeal of this law will bring domestic law more in line with the international standards. It will also send out a powerful message that instead of a military approach, the government is committed to respect for the right to life of all people of the country. People have also expressed
a number of people who have expressed the same view, and there are others who have a contrary view, which is why the issue remains unresolved. The view of the Ministry of Home Affairs is, after considering the Justice Jeevan Reddy report and all other reports, the view of the Ministry of Home Affairs is that 3 amendments should be made to AFSPA. That is pending with the Cabinet Committee on Security.
Enough is enough. We felt the time had come to crack down. That's what the Chief Election Commissioner has told NDTV a day after the poll panel took the unprecedented step of cancelling the Jharkhand Rajya Sabha election. Mr. Qureshi said the panel felt the time has come to send out a strong message and hope the strict action would act as a deterrent. The strict action came on the same day the polls took place for the state's 2 seats in the upper house. The crackdown followed allegations of vote buying after more than 2 crore rupees was seized from a car allegedly belonging to the brother of an independent candidate.
We have been watching through the media and the complaint that we were receiving that money was changing hands, and Jharkhand in any case has become notorious. You remember last year there was a sting operation in which 4 MLAs were caught accepting bribe. We had then ordered registration of FIR. And this is very consistent with what has been happening, and that's why we decided that enough is enough. We have to take action, and the Chief Secretary said that they should be on the vigil, which is how the Naka Bandi was done when this check post was erected and these guys were caught. After that, we had to take reason because money found in a car which belonged to the brother of a candidate, which was dispatched by the son-in-law, the samdi of the candidate. This was too much of a coincidence. Yes. So we felt that time had come for us to crack down.
Right. So we often hear stories about horse trading, buying of votes. How big a concern do you really think this is? How rampant is this?
Money power is our very, very major concern, and what we have done is very consistent with our policy. It is indeed the first time, the only time Rajya Sabha election has been countermanded, not countermanded, but it was rescinded for a totally different reason.
What are the specific steps that the EC would want taken at the earliest in this regard?
Well, we would like, first of all, the electoral reform bill, the proposal which have been pending for as long as 18 to 20 years. Our hopes were raised last year when Union Law Minister Mr. Moily, they came to the Election Commission once, he came a second time. We organized 7 regional consultations across the country to discuss with these issues. Then Mr. Khurshid also came. And he had promised that a bill will come in the winter session of Parliament. It did not. We feel that probably at that time Parliament was kept busy entirely by Lokpal issue. But now in the budget session we were expecting it to happen. I hope it does. See, very senior officials of PMO had told us that PM has decided that after the Vidhan Sabha polls, which were to be concluded in first week of March, an all-party meeting will be called. It's end of March. Well, the government has been very busy in various things. I hope this meeting will be called now.
But sir, do you feel that there is a lack of political will at the end of the day to make this a reality?
That seems unfortunately the only conclusion.
So sir, what is that one specific thing that you would want the government to do immediately on this front? Because this is a very serious concern.
Well, we feel that the comprehensive electoral reforms are the only way out. Otherwise, the street kind of democracy, which is which we are witnessing all the time, is not really the answer. Democratic institutions have to be preserved, they have to be strengthened, and the integrity of those institutions has to be maintained at all costs, and therefore these reforms are extremely important.
India is now polio-free. To get off the WHO list of countries that do not have polio, it needs to be free of fresh cases for another 2 years. The strategy? Intensive rounds of vaccination.
It was a landmark for India, but remaining polio-free has come at a price. Globally, there is a big shortage of oral polio vaccine or OPV. As cases diminish, manufacturers are cutting production, sensing a dip in returns. Without adequate stock, the national immunization campaign could be jeopardized. Already, the January and March vaccination rounds have been delayed by a month. Frontline workers say there's a risk of children getting missed out as well as the virus resurfacing.
Yes, there is a shortage because the number of WHO pre-qualified manufacturers unfortunately has come down because there has been some disqualification, and we have also flagged this issue of global vaccine shortage. In IAG meeting, brought it to the notice of WHO also, and we are quite confident that we would not allow this shortage to hit our program.
Over 90 crore doses are needed to vaccinate 17.4 crore children twice every year. 5 companies are listed for production, but 2 are only on paper. They don't manufacture OPV, say health officials.
But what is important is that the government must give fairly advance notice to companies. They have to access raw materials from overseas, and they need to plan. Most of these public sector units do not have enough resources, and maybe some advance purchase commitment should be given. They should be advance loans, soft loans, interest-free loans. And if this strategy is put together, I don't see any difficulties.
The government says it is working to bridge the gap. Public vaccine manufacturing facilities are being revived. But experts say the policy must be reworked to fast-track procurement. Otherwise, India's pin-up vaccine program's bull run will end before the finish. In New Delhi, Mahua Chaudhary for NDTV.
It's time for a short break. More news and updates will follow at the other end of it.